So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It's Thursday. It's the best day of the week because the next 3 puzzles we do, today, tomorrow, Saturday, those are the best days of the week to me. But I've got this bottle of wine because I got off of work at a normal hour today. And I picked this bottle up at the little wine shop just downstairs. And this is a 2023 Domaine de la Baume, Syrah la Jeunesse. And I can tell you right now that it would be bold and tannic on the nose. On the palate, it would be dry and soft. Somewhere between soft and acidic. Also on the nose, I've got a lot of chocolate, which betrays the palate because there was no chocolate on the palate to speak of, but there was some tobacco and vanilla to go with what's an overwhelming plum or blackberry. It's a very, 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 very intense red. You're not reading a thing through it. I'm barely registering any light. Some purple shimmers, but the halo is basically platinum. It's got a nice finish on it, but it's tannic, and I think that this is probably calling for veal, primarily veal. But I think it would also go just fabulously with some kabeljau, which I guess would be like an Atlantic cod, especially if it were, say, fried in butter or deep fried. And I think any rendition of pasta would go well, but especially with white sauces like an Alfredo on the American end, or any of the bechamel cream sauces which you could get, in other varieties. On the whole, yeah, I'd give this one 3.5 stars out of 4. This is a decent little wine, and about €9 too, so it's completely cost effective. I think the temperature is about perfect right now. I think it's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. But I think if it were run through the aerator or had more time to breathe, I think we would see much, much improvement on it. But not that that's necessary at all. It's a good wine. Yeah, I might drink that whole bottle tonight. Just might. Let's go ahead and hop into our grid and see what we've got here. I tell you, I'm moving a little gingerly. I leapt out of my capacity to save a child who was not wearing a helmet this weekend, was sitting on the back of a bicycle in a child safety seat. And the father was about 10 or 15 feet away trying to get the other kid out to put in the front child safety seat on his bicycle, and the leg just gave out, the kickstand, and I felt like I needed to twist myself into a human pretzel to get back there and hit get the kid's head at least, from hitting the cobblestones. And I was fine. I was a little sore for a couple of days, but this morning I got up, I could hardly move. So I'm like, I don't know that this is really an age thing. I think this has everything to do with that would have hurt a 12-year-old if they'd landed on their back and had this ginormous bruise back here. It's just been awful. Hopefully I recover soon. Sitting here just moving around is not an easy thing. But we have a Brad Lively grid edited by Will Shorts. And here come the hiccups. So for Thursday, March 27th, let's hop into this grid, see what we got. I'm excited about my Thursdays. So the House of Mouse, and I think that's Disney. So right off the front of the bow, here comes the first shot. Lumbar supports, can only imagine. Talking about discs, talk about a bit of fortuity. I mean, yeah, because I'm sitting here complaining about mine. I think mine's more illegal. But to grok would be to get it, or to see. And result of some cord cutting informally. What do you think that's an innie? Like cutting the umbilicus after birth and giving yourself an innie. I think we learned in one of these grids that about 15% of the world population has outies. Or was it 2%? I don't remember. How about in case? All right, here we go. So make a point, maybe to score. Warum nicht? Expressions of contempt. Oh, wow, we got snorts. Or the sound effect for 1980s diet plans, if you will. Man on wire. Pretty clever if that's a narc. Not a narv, a narc. So Long Island Sound as an example, and I do believe that's an estuary. And if you've never really spent much time looking into estuaries or like the whole engineering, the science behind that, it's really pretty incredible, especially when the sweet water mixes with the salt water and it turns brackish or whatever, and the types of things that can grow in that. And I don't know, it's quite fascinating with it. The fish that can deal with it, those who cannot, so on and so forth. Really pretty cool how that all works. Affirmative reply to sprechen Sie English? Yeah, genau, is what I would say. But sure, we'll say yes, I do. But yes, we'll see. Figure for the prosecution. How about the assistant district attorney? Water source. I don't know, we can put a tap in there and check ourselves and see what we got. So event in a tent. Well, looks like we got circuits and it looks like everything's lining up. So a nincompoop could be an ass, and so I wonder what's going on there. I've got this superfluous IT here for what I would have assumed would be a circus event in a tent. So provide a brief glimpse. Blank player. Sir Isaac Newton wrote about this. Pass it on. No idea just yet. Guess we might as well stay in some type of order here. Sporty auto roof would be a T-top. See how it's moving just a little bit like that? Oh, ouch, right? It's just ow. Everything's ow right now. Writing without verse would be prose. Covers for a rainy day. So provide a brief glimpse. And with that question mark there, and you know what? I think I think this might be drop trow, which is just funny. I think for the longest time when I was a kid, I didn't really know what that meant. I thought maybe it was something to do with a trout or something. I was trying to figure out if it was a euphemism. Because I guess we didn't really use the word trousers much in my family, right? You know, they were like slacks or jeans, basically. I mean, undo, maybe erase. You have been erased. And first name on the Supreme Court, I guess that would be Elena Kagan. Mythos could be lore. So covers for a rainy day. I mean, I can think of tarps and tarpaulins. I don't know. Request made through a downstairs intercom. Maybe let me up? That kind of fits with... wow, boy, that really pinched there. I'm telling you, I mean, I'm writhing around in pain these days. I just use this as an opportunity to make fun of me or something, really. I'll get better, hopefully soon. So, test for a future Ed. I'm assuming we're going to talk about the GRE. It's kind of a trick question. I mean, it's any graduate school program, right? More than just flirting. Oh, how about sexting? One-time talk show whose studio audience was known as the Dog Pound familiarly, and I'm thinking this is Arsenio. Yeah, I could see that already with the AR. And I see that this is the second time this has crept itself into the grid in the last week or two, right? But I do remember the Arsenio show very well. Mac platform renamed in 2016. I'm assuming this is OS X. And then passing remark. Passing remark. Huh. Oh, wow. I can't wait to see what that is. Publication with the 1997 headline. Supreme Court rules, and that would be The Onion. I used to read it every day. So funny back then. Then I moved beyond my 20s and didn't find it near as humorous, and I don't know why that is. I'm not like an old goat that just doesn't like it. So a passing remark looks like go long. All right, got it. Go long. We got go-go boots. and fabled figure in feudal Japan. And so now this minty Cuban cocktail, which I do believe should be a mojito, is now just mojo, which is interesting. So I've got the superfluous IT combination here where I need it here. So minty Cuban cocktail, pass it back, pass it back, pass back the IT. So the mojito, and then you pass it back to circus. Okay, I think I'm getting this now. Very nice. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot, Brad Lively. Some investments for short. I guess you could squeeze IPOs in there, but I'm going to go with IRAs to start. We'll check. As you all well know, half the time I'm wrong on that. So, electronic device from which users take sips, and I guess we'll be talking about a vape. Pizzazz could be Vim. And let's see. So one on a sick list. Maybe a typo. So we might have tar pits here. Visionary. Could be a seer. Come and throw the rye. Poem misremembered by Holden Caulfield's Rag Catching the Bodies. And that was a good part. You know, I haven't read that book in about 3.5 years, and it takes me about 3 hours to read it. I might have to read it again. So a visionary could be a seer, and one signing a guest book. Pass it back. So this will be a visitor, but I see now we got a visor. This is okay. This is a very clever grid. I'm loving this. Hunk of gunk. Maybe a glob. Sir Isaac Newton wrote about this. Pass it on. Gravity, but this will probably be gravy, and then we pass it over here to the tarps. So we got tar pits. Very, very nice. I'm liking it. So we got a DVD player. Clever stuff. Give credit. How about lend? Prefix with body or matter. How about anti? Gluten-free grain would be an oat, and bottom could be a rear. And smart sort. Well, I mean, I would imagine I'm talking about a brain, but I don't know how it fits yet. Folded pancake. Oh, man. I tell you what, I need to quit leaning forward, but I lean forward because this is what's comfortable. And then if I lean... Yeah, no, this is bad. All right. I'll deal with it. Sorry, I'll quit whining now, or at least I'll try. Reno. Not an original, maybe a print. Pattern based on nature. Informally, probably camo. Okay. So I guess we've got Britain. Like a doormat, say... I don't know, but I feel pretty confident this is going to be the IT that went with the brain that came from Visor. So let's see what we got here. Can't talk eating. How about nom nom? Yeah, okay, that's clever as I'll get out. Cartoon series about a super robot. I don't know. I think it's Voltaire. It's not Voltaire. Voltaire. I don't know. I know I've seen it, but East Lansing School, go green, go white, go Sparty, as my MSU alumnus friends would say during the basketball or football games. Oh, Sun in Sevilla would be El Sol. Cartoon series about a super robot. So yeah, Volt. I think it's a Volt, but I don't know what's the last part of that is. Sign of terrible service. And I guess we're talking about no bars. Not obvious. So what some toothpaste do... So I'm assuming this is going to be whiten, which will turn it into win. And this would be subtitle versus subtle. Subtle. Tour de France stage. Well, why don't we just go with the French for stage? Étape. Étape. Migratory fish. I guess I didn't know that about the eel, but I'm fairly certain it's what we're looking for. Creepy looks could be leers. And respected figure. How about an elder? Well, at least you would hope they're a respected fielder. Respected fielder. Respected figure, elder at the same time. I just made a portmanteau for no reason at all whatsoever. Drink with a domed lid, perhaps. I guess we're going for an icy. Pay to play business. We're looking for an oh, was it Voltron or Voltron? I don't know. At the movies with Ebert and Hoypa. So sorry, the OE combination on most of those names. OE, AE, UE specifically usually means that the O originally had umlauts on it. It's a German name. So this would have been Hoypa. But then we don't use umlauts in the English language, which is a real terrible thing in my opinion. So I guess we got Voltron here. This looks like sneers. Expressions of contempt. Yes, sneers. Okay, very nice. So, reflexology setting. How about a spa? Video game, navigation aid. I don't know what that is. Disarmament concerns for sure. How about WMDs? Leave the country. Oh, no, that could actually be to secede. Don't just give up, Christopher. Fight it for a minute. Stout for one could be an ale. And so, do you remember the Shire, Mr. Frodo? Yes, I do. Son of the Dragon and medieval Romanian sobriquet, and that would be Dracula. Feature some outdoor obstacle courses. How about the mud run? Like a doormat. Say, oh, I see. I was trying to figure out like what would a doormat be in front of my door, but no, this is like a doormat, like a human who's just too nice, very nice. So I guess this might be a mini map. And comedian Wyatt, I think that's Cenac. Move over would be to Scoot. So I don't know. How did we do, Bob? Okay, Brad Lively. I think this was extremely clever, and I think this is exactly the kind of grid that we want to usher us into the most challenging parts of the week. And so I thought this was really pretty cool. We started out here with circuits, with the superfluous IT. Then we lost the IT in Mojito, and I thought that was fantastic. I loved Drop Trow. There were quite a few non-theme related things here that I thought were just great. Like Drop Trow was one. Too Nice is another one. I loved how we were showing contempt with snorts and sneers. I love the visor Britain combination. Nom nom is absolutely freaking hilarious. We all know this person. And so from Whiten to subtitle, fantastic. And I love seeing Rupa in here along with Dracula. And on the whole, just a very, very clever grid. So bravo, Mr. Brad Lively, if you have a PhD, professor. Well done. Now, I am going to somehow get my back in order after I get the Guardian done here in a bit. I think it's going to be time for a hot magnesium bath and just maybe do some TV until it's time to go to sleep. But until we see you next time, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. If you want to support the channel, give it a like and a subscribe. I would appreciate that more than anything. You can also become a super solver by becoming a member of the channel. I think it's like €9.95 per month. It's inexpensive. But we'll be doing whatever you want to do. I'm thinking of doing a couple of live sessions, live video chats, face-to-face stuff during the month when it's most convenient for you guys. I just appreciate everything you do for me. Until we see you tomorrow, be good to your friends and your family and everyone else, but be especially kind to the person behind you in line. Be well out there. Cheers.